You know what I can't stand? Christians that get all up in your mother business. Can't stand it. I can't stand a person that gets up in your face. Hey brother, have you heard about Jesus? Those are the people you just want to just run away from, like ASAP. You know, like they bring up God and Jesus at the worst possible moments in life. You could just be minding your own business and then somebody stops you in the middle of the streets and tries to inform you about something that you didn't even ask for in the first place. Like, you could just be casually wearing a nice necklace and they'd be like, well, I don't know if you knew this, but that's actually the devil. And see, people actually use those type of necklaces to channel evil spirits. Well, Baphomet, I don't know if you know about this, but Baphomet is actually an image for Satan. I always feel like they have to put in their input on things that don't align with their belief system. It's completely and truly beyond me. Christians, when dealing with them, especially like the fanatical, extreme Christians, they are unfucking bearable. I tried to stop saying the word. I'm sorry. They are. But in this video, I love LECRAE. But in this video, we are going to be dealing with the basis of J. Cole. And basically, LECRAE presses J. Cole about Jesus at a Super Bowl. I watched like a minute and a half of this. And this is just crazy. Because why would you, at all points in life, why would you try and be preaching the... I mean, we're going to watch the video and we're going to analyze it bit by bit. You know, and we're going to come to our conclusions in the end. Make sure you like the video. And without further ado, let's get into it.
I don't like, and the crazy thing about it is I don't like obnoxious Christians. I really don't. I'm like, people like, they rejected me for the gospel. Nah, you was just a jerk. Right. Like, you was just like the guy, you're all going to hell. I'm like, you stop. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you also did go to a dope spot and say,
you're right.
He was there trying to shut it down.
Because I used to be an obnoxious Christian. That's why I'm like,
that was like Jehovah's Witness.
Yeah, it's ineffective. Stop it. Yeah. Just be nice to people and be a friendly person.
Right.
So you went up to Cole and said, he is risen.
Yo. I said, Father O'Malley sent me. I got a message for you. I get up to Cole, man, and I'm like, yo, what's up, man? He's like, what's going on, bro? I said, let me ask you a question, man.
Do you know Jesus?
I said,
have you heard the good word? He is risen.
I said, you believe in God?
A Super Bowl.
He was like,
he trying to watch, bitch better have my money.
Yo, asking Cole if he knows God at the Super Bowl.
Yo, man, I just...
Yo, that's the spot to ask, though.
Myopic.
Yeah.
No common sense. It's why ladies, the drunk dude like, yo, you ought to be my girl.
Yeah.
Like, what he's thinking is you're beautiful.
Right. What he means is...
Yo, me and you kill the world together, girl. You know what I'm saying? That's what he thinking. So, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks, man. I said, you believe in God? He's like, yeah. I said, word. So you go to church? He said, I grew up in church, but so you're not a Christian? He's like, I really wouldn't. I mean, I grew up in church, but I really wouldn't say that's. And I was like, well, you need to call me, bro. Let's talk. You know what I'm saying?
Jesus Christ.
Terrible. I mean, just really terrible. Like, and not to get at LECRAE, but I can't stand Christians like this, like I said before, who will bring up Jesus or God at the worst moments in life, or just being casual. You know what I'm saying? Just walking out and about. And if you're not somebody who is religious or who is deeply, spiritual, whatever you want to call it, these type of conversations will really irritate you, because you'll end up having a conversation and the conversation will turn, philosophical, and then it will turn into like a form of persuasion, as if the person's trying to sell you something. Well, how about I tell you about my friend Jesus? Like, and now you sitting there for about 5 to 10 minutes on a conversation you didn't intend on having. They're wasting your time. You know, you're getting more irritated by the second. You're trying to be nice, and you're trying to let the person off easy and just trying to tell them, like, I ain't on that type of timing. And even if you are a Christian, some people don't even want to have these type of conversations, because even within the Christian realm, everybody don't even think the same way of how they see Jesus. They don't even practice the same traditions. You might be Protestant, another person might be, you know, Methodist and Baptist and Lutheran, Mormon, all these different things, you know what I'm saying? And so it just get into a whole mix and a whole bunch where even certain Christians don't even want to talk to other Christians. Truly, like, just do you know what I'm saying? Just mind your business. Like, I don't know. Y'all let me know in the comments how y'all feel about that. But let's continue.
And so
he never called.
I said, no, it gets
never
worse.
exchanged numbers.
It gets worse.
Oh my God.
Worse.
So he's like, all right. He's like, yeah, just put your number in my phone, man. So I'll put my number in the phone, but I didn't type my name.
Don't tell me you put God.
Nah.
Okay.
I didn't type anything. I just put my number in there, and then I gave him his phone back. And then he's like, all right, bro. And he walks away. And then, like, I said, wait a minute. I didn't even tell you my name, bro. He said, I know who you are. And I was like, oh. And I walked the walk of shame. And I walked back. And the next morning I was like, oh my God. What did I do?
Played yourself. That's
what did I say?
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, that man, that's it.
Yeah, it's over. Never getting the feature, never getting the verse.
It. So Cole, if you watching this, bro, like, I apologize for the way I approached you, my guy.
Cole definitely left like, yo, I just met LECRAE, fucking weirdo.
You know he had the blue shit. I was like, LECRAE guy's kind of fucking weird.
You're fucking weirdo. And you he's super cool, but you just was in a moment where wasn't all the way there.
Yeah, I was not, bro.
See, that's why you gotta leave that drink alone, man.
I appreciate you telling these stories on the pod, because all I do is tell my embarrassing stories of meeting people that I love. Thank you. He never shares these stories.
I
went in the studio and told Nas he changed my life, and I was like, why did I say that?
I mean, that's kind of expected in a sense.
It was me, him, and Hit Boy. I should have just shut the fuck up.
Yeah, that's not the play.
Yeah, just be like, yo, what's good, bro? I love what you know.
He knows he's changed people's lives. Yeah, he didn't need that from me.
I feel.
But that's like my nasty moment with Serena Williams.
What?
I saw her at the All-Star game.
His is worse than your cold shit.
Yeah, I got the worst. That cold shit is nothing.
Tell.
I told us before, but we was at the All-Star.
Okay, y'all can watch that on your own time, but nasty time with Serena Williams? Okay, anyways, that's not the point of this video. But to conclude on this, right? Even with this whole scenario, LECRAE meets J. Cole, and J. Cole all of a sudden he thinks he's a weirdo. But you see what that emphasis there is, that there's a lot of Christians. And if you're a Christian out there who is an extremist and you come off to people like this, people do not like to deal with you. And you might think like, oh, well, you know, I'm being persecuted. And Jesus said in the Bible that if they hate me, they hated him first. No, you don't understand, fam. They really hate you. Like, it's with reason. An accurate reason at that. Jesus even side eyes you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you truly need to understand, like, where you play at hand in this scenario. You're not following the concepts of Christ. You know what I'm saying? You're with the Pharisees. You're on the other end of the bargain. You know, the society looks at you funny. You know what I'm saying? People who you're supposed to be lending a hand to, who you're supposed to be cast forthing. That's not even a fucking word. You're supposed to be bringing forth your light to. They looking at you funny. And I always tell Christians is y'all need to work on your evangelism skills. Y'all need to work on your marketing skills. Y'all need to work on how to talk to people, because you can't be talking to people crazy and then trying to let them off easy. You can't do that. You can't tell somebody they're full of the devil, they're demonic, they're evil, they're low down and sinners and they need to repent and all these different things, and they'd be like, well, God loves you. He loves you so much. He died for you. All these y'all got to find a better way of persuading people or converting people or bringing out your message. You cannot bring out your message with, do you believe in God? If you don't believe in God, judgment day is going to happen. Jesus is coming back soon. Nobody cares. It's 2024, fam. Nobody cares. You're speaking from a book that has been mistranslated, mistransliterated, that has been copyrighted. All these different things have happened. There's too many different contexts. You're speaking in terms of certain passages and certain messages that were for certain people for a certain time on a certain topic, and you're trying to use these different things that co-sign to your culture or your denomination. There's just a lot of stuff going on. It would just be better if you were to just co-sign and align with the mystical concept and perception of the Bible and of Christ. You could go way farther with relating to other people rather than to condemn people. If you was to relate to other people and cast forth your light to the world and let people know that you relate to them more than you don't. That's why Jesus was out here literally walking and talking with gangsters. That's why he was eating and greeting and drinking with the drunkards and the tax collectors and the robbers and the harlots. He was for the people. He was with the people. But you out here acting all high and mighty, acting more righteous, more holy than thou. Have you ever became revolutionary? Ask yourself that. Have you ever really been the person to stand out in front of everybody? And then also at the same time, while standing out, you're also getting brownie points from the people. I truly believe Christians don't even look at how Jesus associated and connected and relate to other people. When's the last time that you really had a real sit down with somebody and you were sitting down with them just to get to know them? When's the last time that you actually stood out from the rest of the crew? Like, really ask yourself as a Christian, if your actions and the way that you carry yourself is the same with the people that they condemn, the same with the people that are extremists, the same with the people that nobody can't stand, maybe you should change your strategy in how you bring the gospel. You should really align your actions with how Jesus carried himself rather than the tradition that you was brought up in. Because Jesus could talk to the woman at the well with many men, and that woman was going out telling the world, telling her people about Jesus. Jesus could defend the 304, the hoe, the prostitute, the city girl who was cast at his feet, and could tell the Pharisees and could tell the people, those who are without sin, cast the first stone. Jesus could associate with people who were down and out, who was bad, who felt like the world was coming to an end, and give them inspiration. Are you that type of Christian that can inspire everybody around you, or does nobody want to associate with you? Think about it. Really reflect on that. Because literally, some of y'all are unbearable. Some of y'all are so judgmental, and y'all thinking y'all are Moses bringing down the 10 commandments, casting forth judgment to the world. No. Some of y'all are preaching another gospel. Some of y'all are the literal antichrist. Uh-oh. If your gospel does not preach love, if your gospel does not inspire and motivate people to be better and do better, then you're preaching another gospel. You're preaching another Christ. You are the Antichrist, and I will highly agree, and I will preach it, and I will teach it, and I will scream it, that Christianity is the Antichrist. That Christianity is the byproduct of the Antichrist. I will even say that. Christianity produces many people to have the spirit of the Antichrist. Because when you look at the church and you look at the history that Christianity has had with many indigenous people in this world, has it committed more good or has it committed more bad? When you look at the conditions of my people at the hands of Jesus, at the hands of Christianity, Has it committed more good or has it committed more bad? When you look at the indigenous people in the Americas, at the Celtic people in Europe, when you look at every person who has had cultures and individual systems, and then at the hands of Christianity, here they come, destroying, killing, stealing. That's not the spirit of Christ. And here you are, the stupid Negro, going out here telling people they're going to hell, all these different things, condemning them, shaming them. You are the high and mighty zealous Pharisees that Jesus will always go at and condemn them. And you thinking you Jesus, you thinking you play a role in his kingdom. And yet you are the synagogue of Satan. In the Bible, Jesus says that he did not come for the righteous. He came for the lost sheep. Really read your Bible. Really study these different concepts that are in your text. Really study the nature and the spirit of Christ and understand what you're supposed to be playing in. I'm not religious. I'm not Christian. I don't believe that Jesus is coming back. I believe that there is a mystical and allegorical terminology to this that is just another illustration for your hero's journey. But even within that context, why does me not taking the story of Christ literal corrupt and interrupt your spirit? Why do you look at me sideways because I don't believe that somebody's coming back from the sky? If I have the spirit of Christ, and if I treat my brother and my sister and somebody across the street and a stranger just like how I treat myself, and I take the principles that Christ taught and I align myself with those teachings, what difference does it make? I've had people tell me that I'm more Christian than the Christian. How could you, Tyrone, of all people, be non-religious and you're so satanic and demonic and evil, and you speak all these different things, but you're so nice to talk to, you're so relatable and all these different things? Literally, I am somebody that will give my last dollar. I'm just that type of person, and you could say it was because of how I was raised up in the church, and it's because of these different concepts with Christ and Christianity. So be it, but that's just who I am. But because of those things and those aspects of myself of being who I am, that does not mean that I go back to Christianity. That does not mean that I go back to dogma, as it even talks about in the Bible of like a dog returning to his vomit. No, that's not how things are supposed to play out. The message in the gospel was to let you know that the kingdom of heaven resides within you. God resides within you. And once you understand the identity of who you are as God, you can play out your life as God. You can no longer have the burdens. You can no longer have to take thought of life itself. No longer have any worries or fear or condemnation. You have the love of God within you. You have the Spirit guiding you and leading you. And now you're reaping the Spirit. You're producing the Spirit, the fruits of the Spirit. And if you don't know those fruits of the Spirit, I highly encourage you to study that if you are a Christian watching this. These are things that you're supposed to take heed to, not for you to follow a person, not for you to wait on somebody to come back, for you to take action now as a representative of Christ consciousness. And if you agree with me, and if you want to hear more about these type of topics and these messages, I have this video here that you don't want to miss, because I really go all the way in on these type of matters at hand, you know. Till next time.